It's mailbag time here on the Raiders Report. All these questions that you see are from our live show July 15th. So if anybody ever wants to get a Raiders question on one of our shows, tune in when we go live every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Though today we went live a little bit earlier because I'm going to the Home Run Derby. First question rolling in here from Patrick B. We're getting closer to the start of the season. Any smoke with free agents, or do we pocket the money for re-signing players? I want the Raiders to at least re-sign two guys because I don't really want us to get into a situation where next offseason you're looking at, think about it, Malcolm Koonce, Robert Spillane, Nate Hobbs, Trevon Merrick, Marcus Epps, Divine Diablo, some players that might be able to get a contract extension, and we have to figure out how to pay all of them, which you're not going to be able to do. If it's me, I'm going to look at Robert Spillane, I'm going to look at Malcolm Koonce, I'm going to look at Trevon Merrick, try to lock up one of those guys, and then in free agency, I'm still looking at Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Howard, Adoree Jackson. Could also just see that the Raiders just want to see what some of these younger players do the first few days at training camp and then make a decision. But I think we need to do something. Jamari, what's up, man? Ready to see what this team can do this season. I'm super stoked to see what Antonio Pierce is going to be able to bring to this organization. If you guys want to let me know down below how many games you think we're going to win, I would greatly appreciate it. Noah Santana, who's been banging this month of July, currently our MVP this month. Hot take, Jakobi Meyers better than Brandon Ayuk. What are my thoughts on it? It is a hot take, and it's a take that I'm not going to agree with. I think Jakobi is a very underrated receiver in the NFL, but I also think that Brandon Ayuk is a very underrated receiver. When you look at reception perception by Matt Harmon, and you look at route trees and just the amount of ways that Brandon Ayuk can beat you, he's the top 10 receiver in the NFL, and unfortunately, he's better than Jakobi Meyers. Not even unfortunately. He's better than Jakobi Meyers. Let's go to Callie Love. What's up, man? Who is a starter on our team right now that won't be on the team next season? Oh, boy. All right, so from the offensive side of the football, I'm looking at receivers, offensive line. I'll go defense here, all right? I'm going to go defensive side of the football, the player, and I kind of just mentioned him before, Divine Diablo, where I think out of all the guys that I mentioned who's the least likely to be able to come back next season on an extension, it's probably Diablo, and quite frankly, with the Raiders drafting Tommy Eichenberg, if they do like Luke Masterson, and if they want to be able to keep around Amari Burney. So I would say the first thing that's coming to my mind right now is Divine Diablo. Another name I'll throw out there is John Jenkins because he's getting up there in age, and I don't know if they're going to bring him back at age 34. I like this game. Let's play it. This is going to be the pinned comment here on today's show. I want you guys to name a starter that won't be on the Raiders next season. Since I gave defense, how about you guys give me an offensive player? So scroll on down. You're about to get hit with YouTube ad break, and please answer that question. One shot. If we ever were to trade Adams to the Jets, who would you want in return? If we were ever to trade Davante Adams to the Jets, I would want a first-round pick and then some. And it wouldn't even be for a player because you're not trading Davante for a player because why would I want a player if I would want the draft pick? Like, there's been a lot of Davante Adams trade rumors. I saw Boomer Esiason say something like, if a trade were to happen, it would be before that. I'm going to have to text Boomer after the show, but, it's not going to happen before the season. Davante's not going anywhere. If he wanted to be traded, he would have already been dealt by now. I will admit, and I've said this, from watching the Netflix series, if the Raiders' quarterback play is as bad or worse than what it was last season, then I could see Davante asking for a trade at the NFL trade deadline after Week 9, which is going to be November 5th, which November 5th this year is going to be the craziest day of all time for us here at the show. But if the trade happens, it'll be then. But it's only if the Raiders are really, really bad. Let's go to the real crazy news. I don't know why everyone is saying AOC had a good rookie year. I understand that he had a bad situation, but he still should have played better. I'm still rooting for AOC. He should have played better. I hear you to a certain point. I think, though, you got to look at it as the rookie season. Like, Aidan O'Connell, in the nutshell of a rookie that was drafted in the 4th round, was 5-5 and dealt with everything that he did. He had a good rookie year for what he was expected to do. If you look at, all rookie years last season was not the year to compare, right? It was C.J. Stroud, and then it was a bunch of trash. That's just the honest truth between injuries, between nothing really being around Bryce Young. But Aidan, for what was expected, did have a good season, and I think because not a lot of people expected a lot, and he did that, now his expectations are a little bit higher, so people are really, really trying to project. But I'm with you. I do think the love for Aidan is a little bit overblown, and I hope I'm wrong for saying that. Now, one thing that I do know is we got you covered here at the Raiders Report. If you're looking for training camp updates, we got you. If you're looking for preseason updates, we got you. If you're looking for injury news, believe me, we do all that kind of stuff during the regular season. I know in the month of May, June, July, there's a lot of shenanigans on this show, a lot of rumors that are circulating, and sometimes people, which I get, don't want to hear it. During the regular season, there's a reason why we have 170,000 subscribers. I want you guys to subscribe, watch us during the season, and if you don't like it, it's 100% free. You can always hit unsubscribe. Believe it or not, it's okay. Let's go to the next one. Rolling in here from Victoria B. Went to a concert in downtown LA yesterday, and it was a majority, like 90% Raiders jerseys. So whose house? Raiders! I mean, Victoria, I agree with you. This is something that we were talking about before. Like, imagine you're the Rams and the Chargers, and you share SoFi Stadium, and yet the two teams that share SoFi aren't even the most popular team. Victoria, I got to know, what concert was it? Let's go to Raider Prime. Do all starters play in preseason with AOC and Gardner Minshew? To me, if the Raiders wanted to do the right thing, which to me, if there's a quarterback battle and it's an honest QB battle, I want to see all my starters go out there and play at least one rep or one series, right? If they were to tell me, Mitch, who's one player that you don't think that's going to play at all in the preseason, what's his name? I would say Colton Miller, and that's more of just the precautionary because he's been dealing with that shoulder injury. If he's still not even 100% healthy, Miller might be the only player that they say, you know what, we're going to have you sit out. We like what we got with Thayer on the right side, and we can roll with Andres Pete on the left. Let's go to Seth. How many touchdowns do you think Bowers will have this season? My magic number, my over-under that I would set for him is probably 4.5. If Bowers ends up having 5 touchdowns this season, that's going to be a solid year. Like, he's a rookie. It's hard to be a rookie tight end, and the fact that he's going to be doing as many different things as he's going to be doing, 5 touchdowns would be good. I think the other part of this equation is, you still got to get Davante his. Jacoby's got to get his, all the other touchdowns that we're going to get. But then also, you got Gardner Minshew and Aidan O'Connell. Those guys aren't going to go out there and sling 30 touchdowns. If you told me right now I can get 25 passing touchdowns from our starting quarterback, I would probably sign up for that. That, to me, would be a win. If anybody wants a Brock Bowers jersey, we have them available at chatsports.com/Raiders jerseys. They're available in black. They're available in white. Also, we got tons of Davante Adams, Maxx Crosby jerseys if you want them. If you need a Raiders jersey, go to chatsports.com/Raiders jerseys. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. Let's go to Can't Control Life. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Salami. And that's all better than KC. Can't Control Life. Bang! For those of you watching this live, we are 1 away from a shit show. How good can Jack Jones be this season? I think Jack Jones can be a legit number 1 corner in the NFL, and that might be a wild thing for some people to say, but look at the track record. When Jack Jones has had Antonio Pierce in his life, and before college football, Jack Jones was one of the highly touted corners coming out of high school, ends up going to USC, gets into a little bit of, some issues, if you will. And when he went away from Antonio Pierce, he did struggle. So then he rekindles it, I guess, a little bit with AP and is able to really go out there and show that he's good. Then he goes to New England, does not figure it out. Really, really bad situation there. Shows up to the Raiders then last season, then kind of gets it together. The fact that now he's going to have a full offseason with AP, with Patrick Graham, with this defense, I'm kind of hoping that he takes a step forward the way Malcolm Kuntz did, the way that Trevon Merrick did, because those guys got significantly better in their second year in the Patrick Graham system. So tell me why Jack Jones can't. I'm expecting a lot out of Jones this season. What's up, Reb? You and Sanjeet made a good statement over the weekend. Let Max do his thing on his stance. It's like Harrison Buckner situation. All support one team. I'll say this, and for those of you who haven't seen it yet, that's why, you can follow me on Twitter if you want. I don't really want to get into politics. It's not why I do this show. I do the show to bring the nation together. I do think that Max has every opportunity to say what he wants. It's what makes America the greatest country on earth. But I'll say this. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. I don't like politics. I think it brings out the worst of people. But I also know this. Maxx Crosby, to me, Raider Nation, that's family. And there was a lot of people ripping him over the weekend. And I would say this. Even if you think it's obvious even if you think it's obvious, just tell him why he upset you. He can see it. He might not. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's what I would want my family to do if I upset them. Please, let's not bring it up anymore, though. Let's go to Raider for Life. Does the show receiver change your mind on Aidan O'Connell? I don't see why it would change my mind on Aidan O'Connell. I mean, I think Aidan is exactly what Aidan is. Like, he's a quarterback that you're hoping can be a top 25 quarterback in the NFL this season. Like, you're looking at a dude who's not going to be a starting quarterback on any NFL team minus the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Like, he's not starting on the Vikings, though I would rather have him over J.J. McCarthy. But, like, or the Denver Broncos. Those are the teams that I think have the worst quarterback play. But, like, also from watching the show receiver, you can see how frustrated Davante is. And even during those times, like, Aidan was bad for a lot of those games. Now, he got better as the year went on, which I do think is very important. And if you want to be, like, the glass half full guy, it's, well, Aidan did get better as the season went on. And he did, and you're hoping that success can continue. You're hoping that he gets a good offseason, which is not having McDaniels around him, that the competition of Minshew makes him a little bit better. Because if history keeps repeating himself with Aidan, when he gets doubted, he shows you the doubter's wrong. And I've been one of those doubters, and I hope that he does show me wrong, man. If anybody wants to hit us up this weekend, we're going to be hanging out at Matito's. Here is the address. If you don't know what Matito's is, it's like a Tex-Mex restaurant. Saturday, July 20th. From what I understand, I've already had multiple people say that they're going to be there. Graff might be there as well. That one's still up in the air a little bit. I don't know if Chuggs is going to be there. He was telling me that he might go home for Houston. That's still up in the air. But, like, if you want to bring your kids, please bring your kids. If you want to bring your friends, hey, bring your friends. At the end of the day, I just want to be able to sit down, have a few things to have for food, have a few drinks, talk a little Raiders. We'll probably be there for a few hours. This Saturday, July 20th, the day before the Raiders end up having training camp. I'll also say there's a chance that a Raiders player's family might be there. So, could be a cool opportunity. Let's go to Chad. What up, Chad? Do you think Diablo will get replaced by Tommy Eichenberg? Potentially. Like, to me, the way that the Raiders would do this if they were to replace Divine Diablo, it would be you trade Divine Diablo at the NFL trade deadline, right? Now, I wouldn't do this if the Raiders have a chance to make the playoffs, or if you would do this if, Diablo's playing well. But if there's a situation where the Raiders are losing, or if the Raiders are winning and Diablo's not giving you the effort that you're looking for, then you trade him at the NFL trade deadline because he's going to be a free agent next offseason. Let's go to Jacob. What's up, Jacob? Jordan Addison was arrested this weekend. DUI, shake my head. Will he play against us in the preseason? So the Raiders play the Vikings August 10th. It's the first preseason game. I mean, I'll say this. If I'm the Vikings, I don't know if I'm going to play Jordan Addison in the first preseason game. I'll also say for the people that, really follow along with some of the NFL news, rumors, and a lot of the stuff that's going on in the offseason, Addison today, again, I'm filming this July 15th, Addison took down all of his Viking stuff on social media, which maybe he's going to get punished. There's been some rumors that maybe that means that he's going to end up getting released. I don't know. It's a really sad situation, especially when you're a millionaire and you can afford Uber and Lyft. So don't drink and drive, y'all. Will you be watching all the Raiders preseason games? I hope that the answer is yes. I hope that you also know that if you're looking to be able to hang out with over 100,000 Raiders fans live on YouTube, we're the channel for you. I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to hit over 100,000 people for every single preseason game on this show, but I think we're going to be pretty damn close. So if you are watching the preseason games, come hang out here with the nation. Let's go to Yoda. CBS Sports ranked AP in bottom 5 of all NFL coaches. Not a question, just venting. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it in the idea of bulletin board material. I can't really expect them to put a brand new head coach any higher just because he hasn't done it yet. So, I can't really get mad at it. Do I think Antonio Pierce is a good head coach? Yes. I think people also look at AP because you can't put AP as a head coach on any other NFL team right now. AP got hired because of the connection he had with this team, and that's what makes him the right head coach for the Raiders. It might not make him the best head coach in a lot of other situations, but cool. Bulletin board material. That's what we need. Keep feeding it to me. Let's go to the sober alcoholic. I love this. Patiently waiting, NCAA football on deck in 12 minutes and counting. I'll pray for you, Chuggs. I'll play you, Chuggs. That's his name. So, Chuggs, if you want to add him He'll go up against you. I don't know if I can say your name on the show. That's up to you. But if anybody wants to challenge Chuggs in the new NCAA football game, I want you to put your gamer tag down in the comments of this video. And then Chuggs can go through and he can invite when he wants to.
Jew Eagle 96.
You say that again?
Jew Eagle 96.
Jew Eagle 96. That's Chuggs. Yep. I don't want to ask Petey about his name. Let's go to Ron. How many catches and yards do you think Davante ends the season with? I do really believe that the Silver and Black are going to make a really big concentration on just trying to get targets near Davante's way. So I think that Davante breaks Darren Waller's single-season record for most receptions by a Raider in a single year. My number I've been kind of flirting with is 111 grabs. So I'm going to say 111 grabs, somewhere around 1,250, 1,300 yards, and I'll say 9 to 10 touchdowns for Davante Adams this season. Let's go to Jake Serb. What's up, Serb? How much will the new kickoff rules affect our game? It's going to impact the game a lot. I think it's going to impact it a lot from a returning standpoint and then also how you defend it. McMahon has been very vocal of how much different they've been approaching it, where it's a lot more linebackers and corners and teams are kind of looking at it more as like a running play instead of, the old kickoff return and special teams return rules. But, a few years ago, you want to talk about guys were getting like 100 chances to return a ball. Like last season, 30, it was like 30 times. Big difference. Special teams, I do think it's actually going to be really good for the game of football. And it's going to be good for the Raiders who have a kicker like Daniel Carlson, who's a very accurate kicker, can kind of place the ball inside the 20 where he wants it, which will be a big advantage, especially for a Raiders defense that's going to be a really, really solid defense. Flipping the field, really important. If I didn't get to your question, don't blame me, blame Chuggs. You can always follow me on IG and Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. And if anybody, we do a lot of giveaways once the football season kind of gets going. If you need to follow Chuggs to claim your prize, at Jeremy Chuggs is how you do it. Also, though, tweet at him, interact with him. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff in the offseason. If you ever watch the show and you want to get like a special shout out, tag Chuggs. And he said, if you want to play him in NCAA, follow him on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. Honestly, I know I said comment your gamer tag down below. Send it to Chuggs on Twitter. That might be the easiest way to do it. You won't go up against me, but you might have an opportunity to go up against Jeremy Chugg. Maybe it's the Mean Green. Maybe it's Texas. Honestly, I kind of want to make you guys play against him with Colorado. You having to play with Colorado and Shador, that'd be kind of fun.